again, Dustin.
Hello, Hooper. You sound different.
I laid eyes on you less than 2 days ago.
I was just saying, you didn't sound like this 2 days ago.
No, between then and now was lots of driving, lots of manic singing to keep myself awake.
Sure. Yep.
And I think just lack of rest. And my body was like, oh, okay, well,
bye.
Bye. So
yep.
I'm struggling tonight. So yeah. The last time I saw you was like 11 p.m. at your place.
Yeah.
And I think by now people have listened to that episode. So, so it's weird being back here, not in person again.
Right. Yeah.
So, man, but, I'd finished that drive. Obviously I'm here. I made it. It was a bitch.
Yeah. It's what, 5 hours?
It was probably 4.5, 5 hours.
Yeah.
So Waze took me south out of your neighborhood to go down to like straight to I-85. But that's like 25 minutes of very dark, very slow, very curvy roads.
And
I was driving. I was like, my God, I couldn't.
Yep.
It was difficult. And I knew that like, okay, this is obviously faster than going all the way back to the perimeter, but I was hoping for some more excitement to start off this drive.
Nope.
So I finally, after what seemed like days, I finally got out of there. I got down to 85 and I just gunned it.
Yeah.
And so I'd filled up before I left your house. And so I was like, I think I can get all the way home on this tank of gas.
Sure.
And so I'm going, and I think I stop in one place. I think I stopped at one rest stop because after about an hour, I was like, I gotta pee real bad. But I kept holding it and I was like, no, I need to reach like a milestone. So I waited till right after I got over the Alabama state line and I went to their welcome center to pee and drop all my trash and recycle out my water, just do all my resetting. And so then I drove all the way to right past Montgomery, and I was like, great, got on I-65. So now I'm in for like the last big part. And so at that point, my podcast had run out. And I was like, okay, I'm going to switch to my music in a minute. And then like 10 minutes after driving, then I come over this hill and I just suddenly hit this wall of red lights. I was like, whoa.
No.
And I just stopped and I was like, it must be a big, and I didn't move. Like no one moved. And it was like, this is like a big accident. And so I'm trying to find like news about it. And of course there's nothing,
Nothing.
And there's nothing on Waze except, hey, there's traffic ahead.
Sure.
Thanks a lot.
Yep. Figured that much. Thanks, Waze.
Thank you, Waze. Late as usual. I should call you Lays.
Lates.
So I couldn't tell what it was, but like so I sat there and I was like, okay, well, I got plenty of gas. Not worried about that. I can't like get off the interstate. I'm stuck here. So my only concern, I was like, okay, they're going to clear it. I'm pretty close to the top of the stack. So whenever they do something, I'll be among the first people to get out of here. Dude, whenever they poop on the cars and make a move. Is that what the wreckers do?
Yes.
They just poop and the car goes, ew, and it
we gotta get out of here.
Ooh, why'd we stay? So I just sat there. I was like, I since we're not moving at all, like what the guy next to me got out of his car and started smoking and just like peering at the wreck as if he could do a fucking thing about it. Just like, ooh. Looks like a wreck, like hands on his hips,
right.
like Forrest Gump style.
This is ridiculous.
Can you believe this?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm watching YouTube. So I pull out my phone. It's plugged into the car, and so I'm just like sitting there, like literally just watching my phone, just killing time. And I think I waited about like a half an hour or so, because at a certain point I was like, all right, I have a timetable. Like I can't do much more of this.
Keep doing this. Yeah.
So the wrecker shows up. I'm in like the right lane. The wrecker shows up. He can't get to the wreck because there's a semi. The semis are all pulled over to the shoulder. And it's like, this is why you don't do that. because truck drivers like, oh my God, a wreck. And so like, they go straight into their cab and I guess take a power nap or something.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, all right, well, and so he's like, the wrecker's thinking like, I'm going to try and go around the truck, but like there's a pretty steep embankment. And I was like, oh, that'd be hilarious and bad if you fucked that up and just rolled down the hill. Gonna call another wrecker to get you out.
We need a wrecker for the wrecker for the wreck for the wreck. Yeah.
So I was like, so he doesn't attempt it, but he also doesn't get out. He just sits there for a while. And I was like, cool, nothing's gonna get done if you if you keep this up. And he finally just goes like, fuck it. And he just goes around the car, makes it.
Wow. Yeah.
Very brave. Clears the wreck. We'll go immediately. And I'm like, okay, great. And I don't think I stopped again. Like, I don't think I stopped.
Wow. You just went straight on.
I didn't need gas. Like the farther I went, I was like, I'm going to be fine on gas. And I was like, you know what? I don't have to pee either. And I just thought I'm going to save my stop for when I feel like I'm in trouble.
Yep.
And so I'm just eating the rest of, I ate the other protein bar your wife gave me. I ate protein bar. Oh, on their welcome center on the way out, I saw some beef jerky in the vending machine. So I grabbed 2 of those. Cost me $6.
Oof.
Yeah, they gouged me, but I was like, I need the protein. I need
you gotta have it.
I need it. So I'm like yoinking. I'm not yoinking. I yoinked the food earlier. I'm not yoinking in the car now. I'm eating the beef jerky.
Yes.
Yeah, man. And I just go. And the hardest part about that drive is simply that it's dark.
Yeah.
It's not the traffic, it's that the lack of detail in what you're seeing.
Yep.
And that sucked. It's more fun to drive during the day. And I don't know if that's because there's more cars or there's just a bit, but like then people get behind you. And so their lights are in your rear view and it's like screwing up your vision.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my God, I had to drive with these glasses on because of the low light and the low sleep, like my vision my eyes just wanted to separate.
Yeah.
And so I had to put these on so I could see the road.
Yes. Right.
And so I was just like, oh my God, but good. The car was great. I was comfortable. Everything was, nothing else was wrong. It was just like, wow, this sucks. And I kept thinking during this, like, I will never do this again. Like I didn't want to do this. I sort of was forced into this arrangement and, I'm glad I could do it. And I'm glad that nothing happened or there wasn't anything to worry about. It was just, oh, this sucks. And I was more worried about going downhill than I actually ended up going downhill. Like it never got like, oh God, like I'm rocking in my seat, like slapping myself in the face, trying to wake up. Never got that bad.
Yep. Sure.
But it was just like, I kept thinking it's going to happen, isn't it? And that fear was enough to just stress me out a little bit. But I mean, I listened to that whole playlist. It was awesome. It was super loud. Mm-hmm. Half the music was Breaking Benjamin. It's just,
sure.
And it went good. I think about 45 minutes from home, my mom called me. She's like, awake in the middle of the night and was like, where are you at? And I was like, I'm almost home. Like I'm almost there.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah. Like, yeah. And that was just, the call kept dropping because we kept going through places where there's no signal and especially in the river delta on this fucking bridge.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, it was a good drive and I pulled into Mobile. I got right off the exit. My ex-wife's apartment is right off the thing. And so I was going to go straight. I thought I was like, I'm going to go. I thought like, okay, I'll go home and check on the cat first.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the delay at the wreck, I was like, I should probably not risk going anywhere else. And even though I'm awake enough to do this, I think just getting out of the car and feeling like I'm done, but not being at my destination is probably not good at this point. Right. And so I just went straight to her place, got the key, went inside, pooped in her toilet, and then I just
didn't flush.
Yeah, that'll show you. And then I just collapsed on the couch and fell asleep. And then she woke me up when she was leaving and asked me like a bunch of questions. And then, and so then I got up and, went to return the rental car. So I drove all the way out to the airport Did all that, filled it up, found a coffee place I didn't know existed that far west, grabbed it. And it was all fine. Checkout was great. The Enterprise dude was like, "Hey, you checking out?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm just parking my car next to the rental car so I can get my stuff out." So like I get it all out. We chit chat about the van for a little bit, and he was like, "Well, you're good to go." And I was like, "I don't even have to go inside." And he was like, "No, I just did everything." And he's like,
on the iPad,
on his phone. No, it was like phone. It was like his personal. No. Maybe it was, I don't know if it's a personal phone, but yeah, sure. I was like, "Sweet, see ya," and I got out of there. Grabbed my kids, and then I was like, let's get Chick-fil-A. But because it was Labor Day, they didn't open till 8. So I drove the long way to go gas up my van. Just sat there with my kids, and I'm like, I can't wait to get home, and got food, and took them home. And so we get in, dropping everyone's bags, my bags, their bags, all that stuff. They're eating their nuggets, like, "Ooh, thanks, Daddy." And I'm like, yeah. And I go back to the bedroom to check on the cat. And the cat has probably from a combination of stress and, filling up the 2 litter boxes. Yeah. He's taken 2 big shits on my bed. All right. I'm like looking around like, I know there's probably pee and poop somewhere. Oh, there it is. Whatever. All told, went okay. He was confused. Okay. He felt a little betrayed. It took him a few hours to like approach me. Yeah. But it was good. And then I sent my kids to nap finally like 11 a.m. and I went to bed and I slept until 4. I just went, go, just fell on my bed. Yep. And the cat came up and like curled up next to me and laid down. I was like, "Alrighty, bye." And I just nodded off. Gone. And thankfully my kids were quiet.
I assume you changed the sheets.
Well, okay. No, I didn't. Not right away.
Oh, okay.
He pooped on a blanket that was like at the footer of the bed. This is the blanket that I cover my feet with so that when he bites my feet at night, I don't feel it.
Sure. Yep.
And so that was in the laundry. The sheets needed to be washed because they were like gross and they had hair on them. But at that time I was like, I'm not making this bed unavailable right now.
Yep.
And so yeah, great sleep, recovered, ate some food.
Nice.
It was an okay day.
Nice.
Yeah, because I was just mostly asleep, and thank God it was a holiday. I can't imagine if I had done this and like decided to save my PTO and worked
and then go to work.
Yeah, I can't imagine having tried to work. Like it would have. Yeah, so
it wouldn't have worked.
It went about as well as it could have gone. Okay, and it was obviously made easier by stopping and seeing you guys, and getting my sleep beforehand. But yeah, and then like I woke up yesterday, maybe it was after the nap. I felt a little scratchy, but I woke up this morning. I was like, golly,
yep,
it's happened again. So,
oh no,
jazz.
Well, I'm feeling allergies a little bit. I've got like some sinus pressure stuff going on, but I haven't lost the voice yet, which is good, but I know it's coming. It was good seeing you, man. Like next time you have a kid-free weekend and we can work it out, you should
just come up,
just come up, chill.
Yeah. I'm going to do a few more of those. Cause like, it'd be nice to come to your house and then just go to sleep there
on
something.
Yeah.
The last 2 times I've come to see you, it's just been a pop in.
Whirlwind.
Yeah. Yeah. So it'd be nice to actually be like, oh, cool. I can just lay down.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Your story made me wonder what's the longest you've ever waited in traffic for it to clear?
Ooh, like at a standstill.
Is that the longest?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been, behind some big backups on the Bayway, but those weren't like standstill wrecks that had to be cleared by ALDOT or anything. This is probably the first one that was like interstate, inescapable, no movement.
Yeah.
Because I kept thinking like, okay, I've seen it before where these take like hours.
Yeah.
But if that happens, they come in and start to route people up the on-ramp and go somewhere else. So I was like, all right, there's a state highway adjacent to this. If it really came to it, they would just start turning us around.
Sure.
But since it wasn't like a vehicle, I mean, I couldn't see any fire. So I was like, okay, it's not a vehicle fire. It's not like a chemical spill. It just probably is a multi-car accident or something else that somehow closed all the lanes.
Sure.
Of this fucking 4-lane highway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
the two biggest ones that I have been in was a few years ago. My cousin got married up in North Georgia, and on the way back, we were actually really close to home, and it got backed up, and there's a wreck and whatever, and we were stuck there for maybe like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
it wasn't too bad. But then the next one, more intense than that, was before our freshman year of college. Our school went back late. And so like all my friends had already started their freshman year a few weeks prior. And so a couple of my friends who went to the University of Alabama had moved in and were settled in, whatever. So me and some friends decided to go visit them for the day. So we went to Tuscaloosa and, hung out there for the day, and we came back. It was like midnight or so.
Yeah.
We got stopped on I-20. It was like a standstill, and those exits are so few and far between that you just like have nowhere to go. Yeah. And we were so far back, we couldn't see what was ahead. Like it was just a wall of cars. And I kid you not, we waited there for 4 hours.
God.
And like everybody was out of the cars by the end, just like talking, whatever, like having a ball.
Nothing else to do.
Yeah. We ended up finding one of the people that I was traveling with, like her neighbors from childhood ended up a few cars away from us. And it was like, whoa, I haven't seen y'all in a decade. And like, it was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. Like of all the people.
Wow.
But yeah, it was literally like 4 hours where we just like sat there. We eventually got on top of the car and just like sat.
Yeah. Do all the stuff you can't normally do on the interstate. Like the dude was walking around, and I was like, I bet it's kind of cool to just stand in the middle of the interstate like this.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, I bet that's a cool feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely weird.
Sit on top of a car.
Yep.
It's the last time
we were doing.
Yeah.
Just chilling.
Wow. This is the Nobody 2 episode.
Okay.
The title of this episode is Ambiguously Middle-Aged, and that's how this trip made me feel. I felt like I even told my parents when I was explaining what I was going to have to do, I was like, I think I'm still just young enough to do this, but I think I'm close to not being able to do this. For whatever reason. Like, I knew that if I had, like, if I kept stopping to get coffee, I would just get dehydrated and start to feel anxious. So I had 2 cups at your house, and I was like, I probably shouldn't have any more coffee unless I'm about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
And I don't really want to stop unless I have to.
Yep.
And I just remember thinking like, okay, the fact that I even know that is like an old man thing.
Yeah.
And,
right.
And the other was just like, I just accepted like, I can probably do this, but like I wouldn't choose this again. I don't feel cool doing this. Nothing about it felt like awesome, like showing up. No one gave me like a high five. Like, yeah, buddy. Like, I wanted like
you did it.
I wanted like a male cheerleader to show up when I parked at her apartment to just be like, you did it. Yeah.
You just wanted the really cool dude to like nod at you slowly.
Yeah. Yeah. I wanted someone to fist bump me.
Well done.
Welcome to the badass club or something, So
here's the jacket. It just says Hell's Angels on the back.
Here's some heroin. So anyway, won't be doing that again. And, but I don't see why I ever would have to. I'm pretty excited because like there's a couple of these weekend trips I want to take. Like I thought about it too. I was like, I could go up to Dustin's one weekend by myself, and I wouldn't have to like get a hotel room or anything like that. Probably, I assume you would let me sleep on that couch at least or something. But
no, I'd give you the floor.
Oh, cool. Okay, thank you.
You can sleep on the porch.
I'm gonna have your neighbor wake me up. Wake up there.
Hey, how you doing over there?
Hey, what are you sleeping? It's the sun's out, buddy.
Hey, you know the people that live there? Huh? Do I need to call the cops on you?
Yeah, how's that kid doing? Is he okay? Is his dad watching him? The other weekend trip I want to take is Mobile just got Amtrak service back. And so now the big thing people have been doing recently is buying these tickets and riding to New Orleans.
Oh, cool.
And so I texted a friend of mine like, hey, I'm looking at this Amtrak ticket thing. And she was like, I'm down. And I was like, cool. So, and then we texted out today trying to figure out like, hey, when should we do that? And like, should we stay overnight? Should we just do a day trip? What do you want to do? And so I was just like, I don't know. We can do whatever we want. It's crazy. We don't have to park anywhere. Some dummy on the comments was like, why would anyone pay $65 or whatever it is to get a train to New Orleans? You can just drive there in 2 hours. It's, you can take a 4-hour train ride, and people were quickly like, okay, you save like $80 off the bat by not having to park in New Orleans, dumbass. And also because it's fun.
Yeah, right.
Remember fun?
It's an experience.
It's an experience. And so I'm going to like scout it and see like if I could take my kids. Like, would this be something I could bring my kids on? Sure. Or is this like, no, this would be too hard.
I remember one year, this was like years ago, like maybe we were fresh out of college. John had invited everybody down to Orlando, and I briefly looked at the Amtrak to like Orlando, and I was like, I'll just take a train and get down there. And at that time, I don't know what it is now, but at that time you had to go through Washington, DC.
Oh, interesting.
To get to Orlando.
Wow.
So like you had to catch the train going up and then ride it all the way back down.
Interesting.
And so it was like a 2-day trip. I don't know how. Yeah, it's like a 2-day trip. And I was like, well, okay, cool. That could be fun.
That could be fun.
And I didn't pull the trigger on it, but
unnecessarily long. But if it had been like, a 12-hour trip, you probably would have taken it.
Yeah, it's like, okay. Or if there was like a good, 6 to 8 hour layover where I could go do things in Washington, DC, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, just to ride and go. Why?
Yeah. Only just because the route doesn't go from Atlanta down to Orlando. Our rail service is awful. It would be cool if it were much better. Imagine if the trains just went to all the cities. Imagine if there were fucking trains everywhere. Wouldn't it be great?
Yep.
It would be great. It would be awesome.
The more options, the better.
Yeah. Especially with like kids and stuff. And especially if you are traveling tired, it's like, just imagine not having to drive,
Yep.
So
I don't know if this is true or not, but I remember, or what the status of it is, but I know at some point there was a proposal for a high-speed bullet train between Atlanta and Savannah.
Wow.
Because, Savannah's a port city, so we could get shipments in so much faster with a bullet train. And so there was talk of that at least at one point, but I don't know. It's never going to happen, but it's nice to dream about.
I mean, if this keeps going well down here, I would hope and imagine that by the time I'm dead, we will have built another rail line to other cities. Like,
sure.
I mean, speaking of port to non-port, like there ought to be a train from Mobile to Birmingham, or Huntsville. Sure. Like there should be trains between major cities like that. Inside the state, and not just this Gulf Coast track from Mobile to Gulfport to Biloxi to wherever and to New Orleans. Like it'd be cool to take a train up to Birmingham or all the way up to Chattanooga or something. Like it just would make things cool. And like it's slower than driving, which is why like if you have a car you can make the choice, but some people don't, or some people like me choose to rent cars if they have to drive a long distance. And so it's like, well, would I rather rent a car or would I rather just take a train and have a nice experience? There's that train up in the out west. I think it leaves from San Francisco. Maybe it's LA, but it's called the California Zephyr, and it goes all the way to Chicago. And it's like, it's super expensive because it's like a several day ride. It's like $2,000, but like you sleep on it and you got a whole compartment. The train goes through the fucking mountains. It's gorgeous. Yep. You can go find YouTube videos for people who have done it and, at least get a taste of it. But it's like, imagine, like, I was at this place over the weekend. I spent 2 hours riding next to a window where all I could see was trees.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Imagine being on like a train and I don't know, it's just something tactile and old fashioned about it,
Well, I think for me, the appeal of it is I don't have to think about where I'm going or what I'm doing or be cognizant of the ride.
Close your eyes.
I could literally just like chill and, and then boom, I'm at my destination, which is great. Like, flying for me is not my favorite thing in the world. And it's not because of any fear. It's that for whatever reason, every now and then my ears clog up like crazy. It doesn't happen every time. Like the flight down to Orlando for John's wedding was great, but the flight back knocked my hearing out for a day and a half. And like, that's so uncomfortable that I would, if it was, priced competitively, even if it took a little longer, I absolutely would take the train.
Yeah. So for like a weekend, man, or even a day trip, I think it's totally worth it. It's 4 hours sure. And like the first train leaves at like 5 a.m. That's just a choice you make. Like, but I would do it. I'm going to do it. And so I will, if I do it before we go dark, I will report back.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, baby. All right. Everyone, this is the Nobody 2 episode, like we said. So please enjoy Nobody 2 and enjoy that when you hear me talk in this episode, I don't sound like this.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night and
have
be
a good
careful.
Night, everyone. Yes.
Don't trust him. As the precog said, he knows. Don't go home.
Don't go home.
Don't go home.
Yes.
He knows.
Yeah. Yes.
He knows.
I've come to terms with the fact that you don't have an average job.
You guys having fun at the convention?
But we haven't seen you in months.
What happened to your eye?
Somebody fouled me at the game.
What game?
The one you missed.
And summer break's just a few days away.
We should do something. Strictly family time.
Come on, kids. It can be an adventure.
Let's do this.
I am just so happy that we're all together.
Hey, city boy.
Hey.
Get out of here. Let's go right now.
I understand protecting your sister, but there are other ways to handle things. I left my phone.
Hutch, no.
Well, I like your way better.
What the hell, Hutch? On our first day?
I think I stumbled into something.
You're vacationing in an old bootlegging route. Full of drugs, crooked cops, and one woman who controls it all. You didn't take your family there, did you?
Yeah.
You'll want to de-escalate the situation.
De-escalate. No escalating. Guys, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm here on vacation.
Find this nobody.
Scorched earth.
I just want a break.
There's no way you were just some family man.
We all have different sides. But most of all, you're a dad. Go fix this shit.
told you that.
On fucking vacation!
Did you ever see the first Nobody?
I never did see the first Nobody.
Okay.
I think we talked about it on the show.
Yes, I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we did. I remember seeing it because at the time when it came out, it was like 2021. You know, we were hurting for good movies in 2021 because of the pandemic and all the other things. Yeah, man, it was fine. It was solid. You know, it wasn't like anything groundbreaking, and it was, you know, kind of John Wick light, but it was good. So I was surprised and pleased when Nobody 2 is announced. And I kind of liked the trailers. It certainly made it seem like it was National Lampoon's meets John Wick, which is an interesting premise. So for those of you who haven't seen the trailers, who aren't in the know, Nobody 2 follows Bob Odenkirk's character Hutch Mansell. He is an everyman. He's a father of 2 kids. He has a wife and a dad and a brother, and they are, a family.
Is he still playing like ambiguously middle-aged in this movie?
Yes.
Because Bob Odenkirk's like 65, but he has like middle school aged kids.
Yeah, he has some youth to him, which, is great. And he's in great shape for this. It looks great.
Inexplicably fit.
He has to be playing younger than he actually is.
Yeah. Connie Nielsen, his wife in this, is also 60. It's just, hey, nothing wrong with having kids in your 50s. It's just kind of.
And maybe they did. Sure. But yeah, he's an everyman. He's just like you and me, except he's also an assassin and a really trained combatant. And so he, at the end of the last film, the events of that film kind of roll directly into this, and he is, serving, a debt. And so what this does is it makes him have to work these difficult jobs and come home covered in blood, late most nights. And Connie Nielsen's character, Becca, is getting a little tired of Hutch's, having to work late and, never being there for his kids. And so she kind of like, she's unhappy, and he recognizes this. And so there's this idea that he has to take the family on a vacation. Let's get away from work. I won't do any jobs. We're just going to go relax and, be together as a family. And
the great American misdirect.
Yes. And wouldn't you know it, there are some shenanigans happening at this water park, amusement park kind of thing that they go to.
Trouble finds them.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the characters in the film is like, you're drawn to this kind of life, wherever you go, there you are kind of mentality, and it'll find you. And sure enough, it do. And so he's drawn back into this violent escapist fantasy, is essentially what this film is. Yeah. And all the while, the film also attempts to tell some stories about like fatherhood. It's trying to evoke some deeper meaning out of what it means to kind of shepherd your kids in a good way and make sure that they end up better versions of you. They've learned from your mistakes, and so the film reaches for that and tries to give Hutch an arc in that maybe you need to be mindful of how you're presenting yourself for your kids, and like notice what this life did to your dad, and make sure you're not repeating those mistakes and you're breaking the cycles and all those things. So the film shoots for some pretty lofty messages regarding parenting and like fatherhood. The film stars, like I said, Bob Odenkirk, Connie Nielsen. Christopher Lloyd plays Bob Odenkirk's father. It also stars John Ortiz, RZA, Sharon Stone, Colin Hanks, and man, it's kind of a who's who of a cast. Yeah. To various degrees, they're all good. One is probably not good. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Yeah, I think it's a solid movie, but it is John Wick light. You know, if you like, it has some style to it, and that's great, but it's not. It doesn't feel as brutal, and it isn't the slugfest that John Wick is in the, like John Wick. And I think I've said this before when we talked about John Wick movies or even Ballerina, that I kind of grade those movies on a curve because they're not grasping at anything lofty. Like the themes aren't really, super deep, or, it's not trying to do anything deep with John's character in any kind of way. It's more or less just an action showcase.
Yeah.
And there are some moments of character development, but they're few and far between. This film is obviously shooting for more.
Yeah. Yeah. First of all, nice pun. Second of all, yeah, they're not known for their character exploration, the John Wick films.
And that's totally okay. Okay.
They're genre films,
Yeah, exactly. And this film, because it's aiming for something loftier,
Mm-hmm.
I have to knock off some points because it didn't quite stick the landing. In a John Wick movie, it wouldn't matter.
Right.
In this movie, it does. They're aiming for something, more direct. It's like we're trying to tell you something allegorically about something that means something to you, but they never quite follow through with it, and it doesn't work by the end. So I guess I give this like 3.5, maybe 3 stars, somewhere in there. I mean, it's good. It's not great. It's fine. Plus, is it worth going to see in the theaters? Probably not. I think you can wait for streaming on, for this one. And I felt the same way about the first one. They're both good movies, but you can wait for streaming. John Wick, I'd be like, no, if they're doing a John Wick movie, go see that in theaters. This, I think you can wait for streaming. Bob Odenkirk does great. And I guess I'll jump into some spoilers if you don't mind. Like they're light, but I'm sure I'll touch on some things. Bob Odenkirk does a great job. He's great in this role. I feel like there's a little more to the character here than there was in the first one, because of, his aspirations to be a better person for his kids. His son is having some trouble with some bullies at school and getting in fights and that sort of thing. And so the idea,
your dad's so old.
Yeah.
Your parents are both kind of old. Yeah. That's uncommon.
He dyes his hair. It's that's totally what kids would do. That's uncommon.
That's uncommon.
And it's one of those things where, he does well at playing that everyman kind of character. And like Bob Odenkirk comes from a sketch comedy background.
Yeah.
There's really no comedy in this, so it's a weird role for him to take, because even Saul, as dramatic as that is, has comedy.
Yes, lots of it.
This is a strictly like action piece. Like there's no comedy to it.
Yeah.
There's you do get some laughs out of some of the like violent ways people end up injured,
being killed. Yeah.
But that's not comedy. That's like, it's not comedy, haha. It's
you're
like
a sick bastard.
Right. It's comedy like, oh, and then you laugh because you're uncomfortable.
My neighbor Dave is like, I thought it was hilarious.
It was hilarious. When that one guy got decapitated, I laughed so hard.
And I laughed.
But yeah, Bob Odenkirk does well in this. This is a different type of role for him, but he does it well. And seeing him meet the frustrations of like having to work late, and the frustrations of like, my wife is unhappy but I don't know how to fix it, or the frustrations of like, why are my kids going down this path, whatever. That's relatable, and it's interesting, and it's fun, and he sells it well. Good. Connie Nielsen is similarly great. They have a good chemistry with one another. And she gets a little bit of a chance to shine here with some action, which is cool, that she didn't have in the first one. Christopher Lloyd spends the majority of this film sitting down.
I was going to literally say sitting down.
Yeah, he's sitting down.
Talk about getting up there. Christopher Lloyd is 86. That's actually younger than I thought he was.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought he was definitely pushing 90.
I thought he was in his 90s.
Okay.
He is definitely in his sitting down for roles phase.
That's exactly right.
I haven't seen him standing up on screen in quite a few years.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But that said, he does a fine job. Like there are a couple scenes where he's walking around and like coming in and like delivering to the kids like dinner or whatever. He's like, I brought hot dogs. And you're like, cool. And you're like, I love Christopher Lloyd. He's talking slower these days and you know, everything's a little difficult, but like he's great. Sharon Stone is, I think, in like a completely different movie.
No.
She's hamming it up like crazy. It's not bad, but it does feel like it's a little bit of a mismatch because she's getting what should be comedy beats, but she's not playing them well necessarily. And it doesn't really fit. So even if she had played them well, or even if she is playing them well, I can't tell because it's just out of place. Colin Hanks is fine. But for me, I wanted to talk about RZA. So RZA in this film is just not believable to me. He has a like he's an assassin as well, and he has this moment where he's fighting this dude, and it almost feels like Blade because he's got this sword and he's fighting this other dude with a sword, and then like at the end of the fight he gets a little pun, you know, and he's like,
some motherfuckers are always trying to get a girl.
No, but he almost looks directly at the camera and goes, "That's why you don't bring a machete to a katana fight." And I'm like, okay.
Wow.
All right. Fine.
They're pretty similar to most people, man.
Yeah. Okay.
They're the same. They're both edged weapons. It's not like it's different kinds of weapons.
Yeah.
Pun doesn't work.
Right.
I know that he's like really into like Asian shit. So I wonder if he was like, I thought of this pun I could say.
Yeah.
And they were just sure.
The movie begins with him, like the first time you see him, he's like, I don't know what it is. He's playing some like, you know, Eastern instrument. And then like, you know, clearly he's in the East somewhere undisclosed. So like, yeah, that plays a role for sure.
I wonder if like when they asked this cast to be a part of it, it was like Connie Nielsen's like, I'll come back if I can fight this time.
Yeah.
And they're
right.
like, hey, RZA, we want you to play a character. That's cool. Can I do some sword stuff and some Chinese stuff and then say a pun?
Like, okay.
Sure. Will you do the movie for $1 million flat? Yeah.
Sure. Why not?
The budget on this is 25. And when you listed out that cast, I was like, that's surprising because this is a lot of like, I wouldn't call them A-listers anymore necessarily, but like,
sure,
it's not a bunch of nobodies.
They're not nobodies.
They're not nobodies. That's surprising. And I wonder if part of that was, if you want to like fuck with your character a little bit, no one cares. Could do it.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I want to play a dulcimer. And I want to make a pun about a katana.
Okay, that's fine.
Sure,
whatever. Go for it.
Whatever you want, Mr. RZA.
We literally don't care.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. So the film is written by or co-written by Derek Kolstad and Aaron Rabin, who I know. What did Aaron Rabin have anything to do with John Wick? No,
his name's I don't think hyperlinked. So. Yeah,
no, but obviously Derek Kolstad did, and it's directed by Timo Giajanto. Nobody 2 is fine. You know, it's not gonna light you on fire like this is great, but it's fine. I can't even really think of like a moment that truly stands out. But nothing's like awful. So it's just kind of middle of the road. So we're going to go 3 stars on Nobody 2. Again, it's not worth your time. And like, if you're a fan of any of this cast, you know, sure, check it out. You know, and I always say like, if you have a chance to see Christopher Lloyd do anything, just take it. It's cool. But yeah, man. So that's Nobody 2. It's in theaters now. Meh.
Have a good night and be careful.